Huzzah! What's going on, everyone? It is Storm the Bard. We're looking at another top 5 reasons to play. Now, let me ask you, do you like some awesome combat, fighting amazing monsters, being in a setting that is in old school Japan with all kinds of cool stuff like katanas and staffs and monks and demons and the whole 9 yards? And I got a game for you, and it's called Nioh 2. Now, I went straight to Nioh 2 instead of Nioh 1 because I really love what they did with Nioh 2. Nioh 2 is technically like Nioh 1 expanded in so many ways. So that's why I did a top 5 reasons. I love this game. I love the first Nioh, and I've played this on stream, played them both on stream all the way through. We did a full co-op of Nioh 2 all the way through, and it was pretty amazing. And so I wanted to share the passion of that one with you guys because this is a top 5 reasons to play. This is the reason I do these. When I'm passionate about a game, I feel they should be put on as a top 5 reasons. And for those wondering, this is off of the PS5. This is the enhanced version, the remastered version, I guess you would say. So, yeah. And I apologize for the last video I did. I realized that there was some artificing going on. I figured out a better way to record, so this should look much, much better and much, much smoother. I'll probably redo Army of the Dead, or Zombie Army, I should say. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Number 1, we're going into the combat. So, a game like this, kind of Souls-like in its own right. Some people argue not really so much Souls-like. It does have that difficulty of a Souls game and stuff like that, but the one thing that shines with Nioh is the combat is absolutely incredible. It's smooth, it's fluent. When you get into it, like, Souls is kind of that heavy combat, right? You get that beefy, kind of like you feel that heavy, like, hits and things like that. This is fast. This is fast combat. Depending on your builds, of course, too. You can still have that heavy move, but, I mean, like, a Souls game is like Western fantasy, so you have shields, you know, things of that nature. This is more Oriental, Eastern. So you have katanas, you have staffs, you have tonfas, you know, ninja blades on your hands and stuff like that. There's all kinds of different things you can get into and whatnot. And because of that, it's a lot more faster gameplay, a lot more dodging, a lot more getting out of the way, a lot more using your abilities, things of that nature. So, let's get into number 2. Again, these are always never in any order, just the order that I found that I liked. And so it's not like, you know, 1 through 5 type thing. But anyway, regardless. Number 2, loot. Loot is amazing. If you're a Diablo fan, you love your loot, right? You love getting all types of loot with all kinds of abilities and all kinds of stats and everything like that and stuff. The game basically does not hold back when it comes to that. The loot is amazing, from set pieces to just really amazing pieces as it is. The further you get into the game, the further you get down the difficulty, stuff like that. So many different ways you can use that. And that's what we're going to get into our next, because with that loot, you're going to get into builds. This is a game that lets you build the character you want. There's so many different type of builds you can go through, from using your yokai abilities to deciding on what type of weapon you want to use, to your armor. Do you want to play heavy? Like, do you want to take a lot of hits? Do you want to be, you know, a glass cannon but do amazing damage? You can do that. Do you want to focus maybe all on magic? Do you want to be a full-on ninja? Like, all those things are available because Nioh does not hold back when it comes down to it. Like, you can really build out the character you want to build. There's multiple ways. You look on YouTube, you'll find tons of builds, from the most insane powerful ones to fun ones, like, you know, people that just want to have fun with, like, crazy builds and things like that. There's so many. Just head on out there into the world of YouTube and look up Nioh builds, and trust me, you'll find something you will love. I know I did with a few different builds. I used dual katana pretty much the entire first game, and then I used staff for the second game because staff came through one of the DLCs, and the staff is awesome. I love monks, so a staff-wielding monk with these yokai abilities is really, really cool. And speaking of that, number 3, we're looking at, wait a minute, number 4, sorry, number 4. You know, I'm just losing it out here. Number 4 is the abilities. The abilities are really cool. So this is one of the reasons that I honestly picked Nioh 2 over Nioh 1. In Nioh 2, they decided to do what was called the yokai abilities. Now, you fight demons, yokai, in Nioh 1, and they all have these different types of moves, these special things that each of the yokais can do. One of the coolest things that Nioh 2 did is it gave, because the storyline is based that you're half yokai and you're half human and stuff, there's no spoilers, that's the beginning of the game, you have the abilities. So what you basically do is you get the souls of the demons you fight, the yokai, and you use them to do those abilities that they're able to do. Now you can do them. And as you progress further on, you can open up more of them, so you can have up to like 3 abilities to use and such. And it's really cool because there's so many different ones. Because there's so many different creatures and monsters and such, and they all have different abilities, you get to use those abilities yourself. And kind of like, again, like I was talking about before with builds, you get to really build up the character you want, the type of abilities you want to use. That being said, number 5. This is always one of my favorites when it comes to any game. If it's a dark game, dark sci-fi, dark fantasy, anything of that nature, what do I love the most? Monsters. I love creature design. Creature design is so good. And in this game, man, it just is insane. The creature design, the yokais are just awesome. They're like, just take the idea of basically Japanese mythology and they just went nuts with it. Like, absolutely crazy. There's some really freaky ones. There's some really awesome ones. There's some downright sexy ones, but that's monster thing. But there is so many cool creatures and monsters in this game. It's unbelievable. I highly advise checking it out. Some of them might make you tear your hair out of your head, you know. Damn you, Tenkus. But and some of them you'll just be like, whoa, what is that? So yeah, one of the things I love about games like these especially is always that creature design, and this did not disappoint in any way whatsoever. So, with all that said, this is Nioh 2, made by TeamNinja. They went for a very kind of like almost a Souls-like style, you know what I mean? Like a hard difficulty going through and stuff like that. Cool thing, you can play with your friends. They got a really nice co-op mode. Nioh 2 actually has a nice mode too where you can actually summon in AI to help you. And it's really nice. So if you feel like, you know, the challenge is too high or it's too hard or you're ripping your hair out of your head, there's definitely ways to get through things. Not to mention checking out builds, building the character that you like. That was one of my big things with like Nioh 1. I was having a lot of problems until I found my build, and then I went through that whole game with no problem solo, which was great. And then in this one I built up for fun doing my monk, and I've even still been playing solo here and there, and it's just been a great time. So I highly advise checking out Nioh 2. It's a top 5 reasons to play. Thank you so much. My name is Storm the Bard. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying these. I've been noticing that their views are getting higher and higher, and I want to bring out one of these once a week to show you guys games I've been passionate about, games we've done on stream, and games that I think you guys are going to love. So check out Nioh 2. It's amazing. It's on, I think, almost everything at this point, so definitely check it out. Have a good time. Leave me in the comments if you've played it or if you're going to play it, and I'll talk to you guys later. As always, be safe, be just, and huzzah!